how to get more visible. And we're talking about 5 keys to get yourself more visible through speaking. And I have an amazing gift. Well, that's coming later. But today I have an amazing guest that I want to bring on with me, Virginia Parsons. Welcome to Speakeasy Cafe.
Thank you, Janelle. It's great to be here.
Welcome. And I just realized that people call you Jenny, right? So,
Yeah, that's my nickname. I've been
okay.
called that since I was a tiny little baby, but of course, professionally, it's been Virginia. I go by most anything as
Oh,
long as it's nice.
wonderful. All right. Well, Virginia Parsons is the founder of Media Spotlight Marketing and the producer of the Inspirational Businesswomen show, now in its 12th season. Her passion is to inspire heart-centered entrepreneurs to step out and shine online so they get known as the sought-after speaker. She's the creator of Go Live, leveraged interview, leveraged, and marketing maps mastery, all AI powered programs designed to shine the spotlight on your expertise and leverage your visibility so you consistently attract a steady stream of clients. So, today we're going to talk about the 5 key steps to build authority speaking online with Virginia. Awesome. What a great topic.
I love it. I've been living it for so many years that I love getting the message out to people, the importance of getting comfortable in front of the camera and speaking your passion. So it's
Yes.
great to be here for it.
Absolutely. I mean, this is something I say to my coaches all the time, especially when they first come to me. They're like, you know, the first question on that they ask is, how do I find clients? And I had one who came into my program and she's like, I don't want to get on social media. I don't want to speak. I don't want to run workshops. Um, and I'm like, well, how are your clients going to find you then? Because you have to
Yeah.
be visible. They have to know that you exist and be able to
Yeah.
find you. So, speaking is one of my very, very favorite ways, and also one of my very favorite strategies to fill my workshops, which I talk about all the time, is getting out there and speaking. So, let's talk about your 5 key steps to build authority by speaking online. Um, and so the first one is the topic, right? How do you find the right topic that your people are already asking about, they're already interested in, they're always already looking for? Because a lot of times people will be like, I don't know what to talk about. If I apply to speak on a summit or a podcast, I don't know what I'm talking about. So how do they figure that one out?
Yeah, and it's important that they find something that they can speak from their heart because I always focus on being heart centered. And so they want to find something that they can speak from all authentically and naturally and comfortably. And at the same time, it is something that their ideal prospective audience is asking questions around, meaning they're struggling with it. They need help and support around that. And that's kind of the combination that you really want to gear up for. So, several years ago when I was teaching this aspect of how do I figure out what's the best topic that's going to be compelling for my ideal audience, I used a product that's still out there, it's free, called Answer the Public. And the reason I love that so much is all they really need to do with that particular one is put in a big major keyword of the work that they do. So let's say it's around meditation. Maybe they teach meditation. I've got a client that does that. So meditation would be the big major key word that they would put into Answer the Public. And then Answer the Public goes through and finds all the questions that people are asking. And it's the questions that are recent, like maybe over the last 6 months, actively engaging. And this is all done within Google, and it will determine all the questions that are being asked around that topic. Not just the questions, but every different area around, in this case, it would be meditation, that would be pertinent, that people are already saying, I need more info on this in some way, or I'm struggling with this in some way, or how do I do
Well,
this
not
more
just the
efficiently?
questions, but every different area around, in this case, it would be
Not
meditation
sure what's happening.
that would be pertinent that people are.
What's that about?
Oh, Hang on just a second. Something weird is
Yeah,
going.
yeah.
Uh, just gonna pause that. I keep getting these warnings that my computer's been infected, but
Oh no.
5 viruses, but I'm wondering if this itself is a scam.
You never know.
I know
You
because I've
never
had
know.
this happen before where something's like trying to take
Yeah.
over. And then I don't, oh my gosh, it's just constantly, I close it and it comes right back. And then the live streaming was, oh, this is weird. Oh, just close that. Okay, I think we can go now. Sorry about that.
Yeah. So Answer to the Public is still out there and you can use it. It is a free tool. And I really encourage people to play with it. Get in there and put a couple of your keywords in and see what's coming up. See what is really around your topic of great interest to other people. Now, obviously, with the onset of AI becoming so powerful as a research tool, you can do the same thing with AI. And actually, in the free gift that I'm going to provide in a little while, that's what I have done is put together a whole AI assistant for you to go and delve into the questions that people are asking around their topic. So then you can narrow it down to a number of ideas. And then I always say, go back inside because you are your own best informant, your own best guide as to what you would love to talk about. So once you've got these key ideas that people are struggling with, and you hone in on the one that really feels right for you right now, you choose that topic idea. And then, of course, the step after that is, well, how do we create, what would be, I call a hooky title? In other words, that's going to draw people in and say, I need to hear about that. So that's all part of step one. And it's not hard to do, but the research that you do with this is probably the most foundational step that you can take.
That's amazing. And I've used Answer the Public. I think it's a really great resource to find out what are
Hmm.
people asking about. So thanks for
Yeah.
sharing that one. Yeah, excellent. Um, it's always good to know that you're answering a question people are asking instead of just making
Yes.
something.
Yeah.
All right, so let's say they find the topic and they're getting ready to go speak somewhere on that topic. How would do you outline a compelling talk? What's your methodology there? What's your process?
Yeah. Again, for my show, the Inspirational Businesswoman Show, this is something I ask all of my potential guests. I want to know what the main topic is, and then I want to know, well, how are you going to go deeper into this topic? What is it that the information that you're going to provide, again, that is going to be of interest to my audience? So for them designing this, you really want to think the same way. How are the subtopics that I'm going to go deeper into really going to address the challenges of my ideal audience?
Mm.
So you can use, again, at this point, AI so beautifully to help outline that for you. Now, again, I don't say you replace yourself and your brilliance with AI. I
Mhm.
say it's like a tool. It's like a carpenter's tool that can pick something up and make something, craft something beautifully, so much faster than if he did the hand chisel kind of approach.
Yeah.
So that is the whole key with that. So you found the area people are really struggling with, the broad area, and now how do we break it down into three areas that are of interest, number one, to your audience, but number two, highlight your knowledge, highlight your expertise and your experience. And so it's the same idea. I just say break it down. You can come up with those three ideas, or you can use AI to support you with that.
Mhm.
These are the foundation for building interest in what you do and establishing what I call your expertise or building your expert status. So when people think of that particular problem and the elements of that problem, they're going to think of you. And that's why you want to really spend some time developing these ideas. And again, once you've got your subtopics brought into play, how are you going to express them in a way that the people watching say, wow, that was a gem. I always say in my interviews, to the audience, let us know when you hear a gem, something that you could say is a pack my bag moment that if I heard nothing else in the rest of the interview, I could take this and run with it because it's valuable information, a valuable tip or strategy. And so you want to work those into your compelling topic, subtopics, I call them actually. So sometimes it might be a case study. Sometimes it might be actually doing a very simple live process with them, like with meditation, for instance. You could do something very short and have that be part of the process so they could see what the basic steps of doing meditation are. And so, any kind of tips that you can bring in that they can actually latch onto and create something from or answer some of their questions that they had will really keep people interested in your speaking and what you have to share so that they remember you when they're done. So, that is the whole point of spending a lot of time on these first key steps.
Yes, we definitely want to be remembered. I love all of your ideas. I use them myself, just speaking to what they are looking for. They're looking for some kind of answer to a problem. And if you're
Yeah.
speaking to those challenges they are experiencing and giving them tips to overcome them, they're going to be very interested. And of course, your talk should lead somewhere. And I actually always say, start with this. How would you suggest that people create the offer at the end, like the gift they're going to give? Usually, when you're speaking, the host allows you to give a free gift. How do
Okay.
you make sure that gift is aligned with the talk so that everything in your talk leads naturally to, of course, I want that gift?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, because you can't give them everything while you're in a, short interview like this. You
Right.
give them the broad strokes, you give them the foundation, but there's always some kind of a gap that is probably implementation oriented, is the way I put it. So when you're thinking about, well, what is the gift or what is the offer you're going to provide for them? I always say, when you build that, always begin with the end in mind. In other
Yeah.
words, what is it that you want them to do? What is the next step? So even when you're building your talk or your speaking outline, it's the same process. What is the step that you want them to take after you've done the interview? So they both work the same way. So with a free gift, that's what you want to think about. What can you provide that will help them move forward on one of the key areas that you've talked about? And yet, at the end of that gift that they receive, that gives them something that they can implement. And generally, that gift should be something that's very easy to consume. You don't want to provide them with a whole ebook, for instance. Some people do. I don't recommend it because it never will get read or implemented. But something that's in the line of a checklist or a guide or something like that, which they can consume quickly but actually get benefit from. So keep all those things in mind. But then at the end of that gift, what's next? So you're always sort of thinking about, well, what's the gap I'm creating by providing this information that helps them or that leaves them wanting to take another step with me. So I always say for the free gift, it is like a taste of you.
Mhm.
So a taste of Janelle, a taste of Virginia, a taste of you that leaves them saying, oh, that was so good. I want some more.
Yeah. I talk about that with my workshops. It's an appetizer. You give them a little bit
Yeah.
and then they want what you're offering. Because otherwise, if you give them everything or you try to give them everything, they walk away feeling like, oh, I'm full now. I don't need anything else. It's called false closure. They feel like they have everything. And a lot of times people confuse the accolades like, oh, that was so great. What great information. And yet they never take action to take the next step with you because you didn't leave that gap open, right? You didn't lead
Yeah.
them to wanting that next step. And then I love how you also brought out that the gift itself should lead to the next step with you. So,
Always. Yeah.
yeah, right. So
Yeah.
you get them on your email list. You don't want to waste that talk by not getting some of those people into your world with you. And then that gift. hopefully will lead some of them into your program and they become your clients.
Yeah.
So all great information about what to say, what to talk about, how to align that talk. How do people find the place to speak, the stages that they can speak on?
Well, and I call this the fourth key of the
Mhm.
five key steps. And I do it in a couple of different ways. I'm going to back you up and say, let's not worry about finding the person that that's going to interview you yet.
Okay.
So many people who are timid about getting seen, she say that I don't want to be on social, I don't want to do talks, but they need some way of getting the message out. So I really encourage them once they've got this outline together that they should have some fun practicing it. And
Mhm.
so, in the process of practicing it with a tool such as Zoom is such a perfect example. There's many, but let's
Mhm.
just talk about using Zoom because now you've got your outline, and now all you have to do is bring your own Zoom up, which you can get a free account for Zoom, and I think do up to, I don't know, it's 20, 40 minutes of recording on there for free. Click the record button. You're the only one there and have some fun practicing your presentation so that it becomes more natural, more flowing. And of course, you're going to be your own worst critic.
Of course.
Bless you. Version one is always better than version none. But the more you do it, the more you're going to start expressing it naturally, comfortably. You're not going to be feeling like a robot and maybe trying to read some notes, but it's going to flow for you. So I really suggest this. And then the nice thing I like about using the tool this way is, hey, you're going to find one you like. That's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
And that is your opportunity to grab that one and use it as well for distribution. And that's the fifth step,
Mhm.
which we'll talk about in a minute. So
Yeah.
I always put that as step 4A.
Mhm.
Record your talk. You don't need to have someone interview you, although if you've got a good buddy, you could have them do the interview questions if you want. But just remember, people love good, concise information. So if you were to put this into a video that you now have available that you could then release on social, or you could release on YouTube, or even, any of the other options that are out there, you've got that exposure going. And that also establishes your reputation. You might even have that as a prelude where you could take a clip from it and provide that also for the potential interviewer who might want to work with you. If they see that, they see that you're confident on camera and that you're passionate about what you're sharing, they're going to say, absolutely, I want to interview you, right? So I put that in as a prelude step that you will never regret, even though it may feel intimidating at first.
Yeah, I love that.
Then, yeah, go ahead and respond to that first, and I'll
Oh,
take you to
it's
the
something I say all the
4B.
time. Practice. Look at yourself talking. You'll catch all kinds
Yeah,
of things and you'll learn and you'll get over that first initial nervousness. And you're doing it in front of nobody. So,
right.
yeah, great
Do it as
tip.
many times as you want. And I
Yeah.
say, keep going. I always say version one's better than version none, but obviously version 10's better than version five, etc.
Right, right.
So it's the more you practice, and you have to realize that the greatest performers out there, the greatest speakers out there have practiced over and over and over again. So it is something that's worth taking the time to do.
Yes, absolutely. So then go on
Now,
to the second.
yeah, so step 4B is around finding the right speaking opportunities. Now, there's lots of tools out there, and that these references are all available in my free gift that will give you places to go research people who would be interested in your type of topic, where you can then apply for what I call a speaking gig. And I will say that when you're finding these opportunities, of course, always look for referrals as well. That's a great way to have someone refer you and introduce you would be one of the steps I would suggest. But make sure that you've put together now a good outline or what they call a speaker one sheet. It doesn't have to be formal, by the way, but a sheet that really expresses the topic, the subtopics, who the ideal audience is for, and why you think that audience might benefit from your speaking for them. When you have that together and you contact the potential speaker, you will get a much better response from them. I have gotten hundreds and hundreds of people wanting to be a guest on my show. And I have to tell you how many of them have never looked at my show. Big no no.
Yeah. Yeah.
At the very least, before you send out that invitation to have you be a speaker, make sure you've gone and seen one of the episodes and comment on it. And that's why you can say, this is why I think that your audience would love what I would love to talk about.
Yeah.
So a little finesse there. And the other thing that I'm not real fond of when I get people coming to me are the, what do you call the booking agents
Mm-hmm.
who come
Mm.
to me and say, I think I've got a great speaker for you. I do not respond to most of those inquiries. I want you to know.
Mm.
I want to hear directly from the potential guest. Excuse me.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely.
that's just a key for me. I do not
Mhm.
like the booking agents.
Yeah.
Everyone that I interview, I have an introductory chat with before the interview
Yeah.
because I want to get to know them. I want to have a nice conversation with them. So that's why I spend a little more time with the potential guests. So we make sure everything is in alignment and the topics are going to work and all that sort of thing. So I
Yes.
want you to contact me, not some booking agent.
You're talking about relationships, right? Relationships are key in this industry, and even speaking, especially speaking on stages. I know that one key, I remember one tip somebody shared with me that I thought was golden is when you're applying to speak on a stage, make sure that you're not talking about yourself so much, but that you're saying, this is how I can benefit your audience. This is why
Yes.
I think that what I have to share would be good for you and your people, because the host, that's what they're concerned about, is their own people. And if you're coming
Right.
in like, I have this great talk and I'm so good at it, and me, it's not gonna fly. I think coming in with an attitude of service, this is how I want to serve your people and help your
Yep.
show. And
Yeah.
watching the show first is huge.
Yes, it
Huge.
is.
Yes. So let's go to step 5. How do you take all of this?
Well, yeah, step 5 is something that a lot of people ignore,
Hmm.
which is a big, big mistake.
Yeah.
You have now created an interview or a talk, because if you did it on your own, it's a talk or a presentation. Either way, you have what I call a great business asset. And now it's how are you going to get the asset out there? And I call that distribution and syndication.
Hmm.
So there are so many different places that you can. And, like with an interview like this, obviously you're doing that distribution.
Mhm.
But the when you get that interview yourself back from the person who interviewed you, you have an opportunity to also distribute it. And that's where I encourage people. I mean, there's 6, 7, 8 different places you can get the word out from something you've already done. So it doesn't take any more effort on your part other than setting it up to be viewed on the different channels that are out there. With my show, I actually distribute across multiple platforms all at once. And then it goes on to iTunes, so they get exposure there, which is amazing. That's not even live, but people are getting um, incredible visibility through something like iTunes if the show is established. And then mine also goes on to Roku TV. So don't miss those opportunities to get the word out so that now this is why I call it, the AI marketing guide to being seen as a market leader by speaking online,
Yeah,
because
definitely.
you get the product and then you get the distribution and therefore you have the visibility. And what does that mean? Expert status. Yeah, and you can do it with one talk. But once you've got this going, of
Yeah.
course you're going to want to do it multiple times. It just
Yeah.
gets easier and easier.
And people will start coming to you to ask you to speak on their summit
Yeah,
or their
exactly.
podcast or their show.
Right.
So let's also, I talk a lot about, and we've been talking about this for the last couple of months. I'm called the workshop queen. I'm always talking about doing workshops to create visibility. That's one of the greatest things doing your own workshops can do for you. And
Yeah.
one of the questions I get asked all the time is, how do I get people to come to my workshops? And so, what we're talking about today, when you're speaking on other people's stages, guess what you can do? You can invite them to come to your workshop. So, share with me. I know you said that you had some tips around that, how to leverage those speaking gigs to actually fill your own events like workshops or master classes or whatever you're doing.
Well, like you, Janelle, I do things on a monthly basis. So I've always got something coming up. It's always scheduled.
Yeah.
So first thing you want to do is make sure that it is on your calendar
Yes.
and that you have you have your opt-in page or your registration page ready to go for the very next date that's coming up. So once you get that system all set up, which means your registration page and your thank you page and your follow-up email sequence, those are the foundations, of course. You have that ready to go and you just shift it each month to the next date. So I do this all the time with speaking, letting people know what is coming up. And so you want to make sure you've got lots of those on your calendar. If you don't have those booked out, you're going to
Mhm.
miss that opportunity. So number one, make sure it's booked, ready to go.
Yeah.
My other key that has just been filling mine without even using a lot of supportive affiliates, like, you and I
Mhm.
are affiliates for each other. But without that, because I'm always offering gifts in different forms through whether or not I'm appearing on a summit or an interview like this, or I'm part of a giveaway, or I'm just doing on my own presentation. That's a quick presentation to the gift. The gift itself, oh, excuse me, just a moment. The gift itself is an opportunity to send people to your upcoming event or workshop. So when people register for my gift, there is an opportunity for them also
Yeah.
on the thank you page,
Yeah.
register for my upcoming workshop or
Yeah.
seminar, or whatever it might be. And that's filled most of mine because
Yeah.
it's sort of a constant,
Mhm.
rinse and repeat process.
Mhm.
And then, of course, I obviously always send emails to my existing list. But as you're building your list with some sort of a free gift, that
Yeah.
is another way that you're adding to the people who might be interested in what you're doing. So
Yes,
that's
and
how it works for me.
yeah, I do that too. And one of the reasons that I don't say I don't use the free gift. It used to be when I would speak, I would say the free gift was a ticket to my workshop. But I find that people will download something. It's easier for them to download a PDF or a guide. There's less resistance to that. It's really easy to just
Yes.
download something. So if you put your
Yeah.
workshop invitation on the thank you page, you're going to get more people, first of all, on your list, and then a lot of them will then come to your workshop rather than just go
Yeah.
directly to your workshop. So I've been doing that for a while. It works really well. And I always say, I'm giving you this gift. It's my guide, whatever it might be. It's something related to what I was just talking about. And when you download it, you're going to immediately get a free ticket to my next workshop, which in that workshop, we will take this gift that I'm giving you and we'll break it down in detail so that the gift aligns with the workshop as well. So you get the
Right.
gift. And then the workshop, we're going to go into this live in my workshop and walk through all the things in the downloadable guide, whatever it might be. So then they see there's a reason not only to download it, but there's also a reason to go ahead and take that next step, come to the workshop.
Well, the other thing that I do that adds to them attending, because it's one thing to fill it, it's another
Right,
thing to get them there.
right.
Because I'm dealing more with a free master class, not a charged workshop. So there's a difference there.
Yeah. Mhm.
They get one of my custom GPTs. And
Nice.
actually, the custom GPT is very, very valuable because it guides them step by step into how to create a compelling free gift. So by the time they go through it, they've got the gift created in about an hour, whereas my clients in the past, they could take weeks to put together a free
Yes.
gift.
Yes.
So they don't get that unless they attend
Mm.
the training live,
Yeah.
and they have to stay to the end of the training to get it. So
Get it.
that way,
Nice.
at least you know that they are there and paying attention while
Yeah,
you're
I love
training.
that. That's excellent. All right, so you have a gift, and it's
Yeah.
called the AI Marketing Guide to Instant Authority Speaking Online, which is what we've been talking about. So tell us a little bit about your gift. And by the way,
Well,
the
my
link.
gift,
The
Oh, I'm
link to our
sorry.
gift, sorry, the link
Yeah.
to our gift is already there in the show notes. If you're watching this on YouTube, just look below this video and you'll find it. So go ahead and tell us
Yeah.
about it.
Well, one of the things that I am known for are my maps. I put
Ooh.
my frameworks, my processes, the steps that you take into maps. These maps are interactive, and as a result, you get a combination of um, videos from me, templates from me, and the exact steps you need to take. So, the 5 steps that I was just talking to you about are all mapped out in the AI marketing guide. That
Nice.
is the free gift I have for you. Now, inside there, again, you have a visual of the steps to take. And then when you click on and open up each step, it gives you notes with details inside, links to go to certain things,
Oh,
basic chat prompts for you. And as well, there is a custom GPT in there that takes you step by step through the first several steps of the map. So it's all there for you. So there's no question, what do I do next? It's ready to go, and all you have to do is follow the steps. So it
wow.
is a map.
That's fantastic. I love that. I love that. People love to have step-by-step guides, and it sounds like this is incredible with visuals and
Yeah,
prompts and
visuals.
links. GPT,
Yeah,
that's amazing. Thank you so much for
yeah.
sharing that.
Happy to provide that.
So, for anybody watching, you need to grab that. It's such a valuable gift, way beyond just a PDF. So, grab that, click on that link. And also, just before we close out, I want to just quickly let you tell everyone about your upcoming summit. And I'm one of the speakers on your summit.
Yes, you
So,
are.
yeah, so let's share with them that too. And I'll add that link into the show notes because that's coming up soon.
Yes, absolutely. I'm looking forward to that. It's coming up May 19th through 21st, so it's 3 days. I'm interviewing 30 experts,
Mm.
and it's all the title of it is Visibility to Prosperity AI enhanced client attraction. So we're bringing in people who know how to attract clients, such as Janelle, and do it very efficiently, but also adding the tools that AI can provide to make this whole process so much easier, less complicated, and so much more fun. So I think you'll all enjoy that as well. It's over 3 days. And register if you can't make all 3 days, not a problem. Register, you will get access, free access to the replays for a short period of time. So make sure you take advantage of it because the speakers are phenomenal.
Yes, it sounds amazing. I can't wait. And of course, I'll be sharing my talk on how to take a monthly workshop and turn it into a client enrollment machine for your business, a system. And I'll
Yeah.
be really excited about sharing that with you, my 7-step process. So looking forward to that. You guys need to come to that summit and get even more from Virginia and what she's offering. Thank you so much for being here today, Virginia. It's been full of gems, as you say, and just an amazing conversation.
Thank you, Janelle. It's been great to be here.
Thank you. All right. Hang on just a second. These, okay. Oh gosh, these things are in my way. Okay, here we go. All right, bye everyone. I wanted to stop the stream, but these warnings have been popping up the whole time. So I've got to figure out what is going on.
Yeah,
Let me
that's very strange. I've never had that before where it was almost like someone else was on the Zoom.
Yeah, it was well, what happened was somehow I have the YouTube channel going, it's streaming, but the
Yeah,
volume is off, so you're not
yeah,
getting that echo. And somehow it opened it up again. And so the recording, which was behind where we were,
right.
the
Yeah.
volume was turned on, and I
Hmm.
didn't do that. So I don't know what's happening. Sorry about
Well,
that.
anyway, it was
Anyway,
fun
yeah,
to go
yeah.
ahead and share that
Yep.
with you. And yeah, I'll see you in a couple weeks.
Yes,
So
yes. Looking
I'm
forward to
looking
it.
forward
So
to it.
yeah, my
All
promotion
right.
should start very soon for that.
All right. Thanks,
All righty.
Janelle.
All right. Thank you. Have a good
Talk
day.
soon. You
Bye-bye.
too. Bye bye. Oh, can I get a copy of this, by the way?
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right. Sounds good.
I can send you the the Zoom recording, which is going to have us talking about the stupid thing happening,
Yeah.
or it'll be
No,
on
that's fine.
YouTube. Okay.
That's fine. You just send me
Okay.
the Zoom.
Okay.
I pull excerpts out, so that's all.
Gotcha.
But I
Okay.
wouldn't